glad you joined us tonight, and we are so excited for what we have planned for you tonight. Tonight's mission for what we're presenting here for you is to give you a snapshot, a little tiny snapshot into what we do, how we've built solid residual incomes for our families, and how we are letting ourselves dream big, and we are reaching those dreams with this opportunity. And we are just really excited to bring this to you. We have been brainstorming about how to connect better with people who want to start, who want to hear just little snippets of their first steps, maybe get their feet wet, and creating things that can come alongside you and support you better with that. And that's what this is all about. We're so happy that you're here tonight because we have some really cool stuff planned and some great stories, and we're going to hear from the best of the best of the best, like Eva and Jessica and Sherry and all these ladies, Annie, Weeb, who just crushed it with their businesses and have overcome obstacles and just not let fear stop them. And so we're just going to get it rolling from there, and you're going to have opportunity to win prizes. And so you ready to have your thinking caps on, because we have some fun questions for you that are gonna the answers are gonna go into draws and all sorts of cool stuff. So
I'm super excited.
We're just so thankful. Yeah.
And my name is Sherry Harbage. I'm excited to maybe we'll call it co-host, MC this Zoom meeting with these lovely ladies. I'm an Emerald Ambassador. That was Charla. She's a dear friend of mine, and she's a Ruby Ambassador with Plexus. She maybe said that already, but I couldn't remember. So yeah, just really quickly, first off, we're going to start with, we want to hear from you what your why is with Plexus, what you are wanting to do. Maybe you don't know what you want to do, but we're going to share with you what we wanted to do when we started, and maybe you can start dreaming a little bit if you haven't actually thought about what Plexus could mean for your family. And then we're going to share with you what those steps are to take and how to do them. And then we're going to close out. And through this, we're going to have draws and all that fun stuff. Okay, so we're going to start out with our amazing first diamond in Canada, Eva. Can you share with us what Plexus has changed for your family, and like what it's mean for your family? Like, it's those little things, right? Sometimes it's the little things, sometimes it's the big things. Can you just give us a picture of what this has meant for you?
For sure. Thank you, Sherry. Hey, everybody, it's Eva. Okay, so when we started with Plexus, I had no idea like what was going to happen. We just knew that we didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck, and we knew that we didn't want to always be running that rat race of my husband being gone every single week, all week long, and then coming home for like one night and leaving again. Like, we knew there had to be something better out there. We had 3 little kids at the time, and we wanted to travel and go places and not just be like, it felt like every day was the same. I love opportunities and traveling and going places and seeing new things, and that was like my dream. So we had no idea that that was actually going to happen for us. Working really hard, always on that dream. Like, we decided when we started, we're going to give it our all for 1 year. And it has just blessed us tenfold and blessed so many more people besides us, which I never, like, when you start out, you don't realize what's going to happen. Just like dream really, really big. And just little fun tidbit, one of my favorite things to do now is to go grocery shopping in like all the organic section and like just get all the strawberries and all the things and whatever I want in that section. Like in the wintertime, 9 months of winter and just getting strawberries. Like, that's just such a huge blessing to me, because I'd be comparing, like, can I have this or can I have that, and just the paycheck and like that. So, and you know, I like clicking like buy in my Amazon cart. That's full of books. I love that also.
I love that.
A little nutshell.
It was Eva's story that made me see what was available to me and made me feel like I could do this, because she was someone I knew. She was someone that I saw her do things that were out of her comfort zone. And I was like, if she can get out of her comfort zone, I can get out of mine too. And it's changed my family's life as well. Now I want to hear from our other diamond, Jessica, I would love to hear from you just a quick snapshot of what this has meant for your family.
Oh my, I don't even know where to start because there are so many things that you never even give yourself permission to think or dream about prior to Plexus. So we prayed literally from before we were married for 12 years. It was our main prayer. You know when you have that one prayer that you're always praying about? Ours was that Dan could be a stay-at-home dad and we could raise our children together. And we'd be able to work together, live together. As a couple. And so when Plexus started for us and we caught the vision, I remember Eva came down, I think on her Emerald trip and stopped in at my house. And Andrew sat down and shared with us a compensation plan and why we wanted to do this business. All of a sudden, like a flicker of this could actually maybe be us was born. And when that happened, we started to dream. And it started out with just getting my husband home. And I remember the first morning when he stayed home, I was like a basket case of emotions. This is happening. He's not leaving at 4:30 in the morning. And then we started dreaming bigger. We always wanted to move back to Michigan because our heart was there, the beauty. There was just so many reasons why. We never thought it was going to be possible, even though I had an extremely successful business. I did so much of it in trade, and we hadn't had work for a long time due to a lot of stuff. So it just didn't look like it was possible. And then Plexus. And guess what, guys? I think it was 2 or 3 years into it, we were able to move back to Michigan, which was a dream. We were able to take my family. I've always had such a passion for dreams. I remember in school I did a little science project of some sort where we had to do art on countries. I wanted to travel to Austria, Italy. We took our family of 5 for 3 weeks to Europe and traveled Europe. We never could have even paid for one plane ticket to Europe, let alone 5 people eating their way across Europe. That costs money. And so it was so we started seeing dreams come true. And I'll end with this one. We've always had a passion to help others who have gone through trauma like we did and to be able to give them a place of just to get away and heal. And this today, we're finalizing the papers for a sale of our home. We have to be out June 16, and we're buying a large piece of property where we're going to be putting up cabins for people that need to get away and to heal with other modalities and therapies. Guys, that wasn't even a blip on the possibility of radars, ever even conceivable with how much it is. But because of Plexus, thousands of lives are going to be impacted that I see for generations of different ways of healing thanks to Plexus. So I could just talk all night, but that's a snapshot.
That is so huge. Like, can you just even imagine? We often don't even dream that big because we're so stuck in a certain box. Right. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm gonna share the income disclosure statement so that you can quickly take a peek at it. Okay, you should be able to, okay, you see it on the screen. These are the different ranks and the average monthly income of the different ranks. I want you to drop in the comments what rank would start really changing your family's life. So like for me, silver and gold was going to add a lot of extra to our budget. Ruby was the first check that really absolutely changed our life. And then emerald was that next one that really changed our life. So if you can drop in the comments what rank that is, and if you can also share what that would change. Just one thing, something quick. And we're going to have a couple more quick stories as you're doing that. And I'm going to be looking at your comments to make the draw. So I'll leave this up for a couple more seconds here. Marge, would you be able to quickly share what was your first goal and why was it so important to reach that goal when you first started?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm Marge Martins. I'm an Emerald, and Plexus has been, wow, sometimes looking back you wonder, how did we never dream like this before, right? But like Eva was saying, sometimes life just happens, and living paycheck to paycheck, all of a sudden the saying that the days are long but the years are short becomes very real, right? And that was kind of our story. We were, plugging along and doing life, and I had been looking for answers for a long time. And this was just another I'll try it thing, right? And some of us come to the situation thinking it'll be temporary. And probably in the back of my mind, I thought that a little bit, but it wasn't, thankfully. And so I started and I had almost immediate results for which I was super grateful. Immediately, I knew that my family had to benefit. But when I started, I actually borrowed money from my grocery budget. So I can really relate to Eva in that sense. I wasn't buying strawberries during the summer. And believe me, if you pay $4 an apple, you're going to watch your kid eat the whole apple. You know, and so there was many things that I knew that $500 a month could make a big difference. And so that was kind of my first goal, was to cover at least the grocery bill. And believe me, we used more than $500 a month. And so when I first reached gold and I got the rank up bonus and I got the gold paycheck, I thought to myself, oh my word, how many hours would I have gone to work for this money? I was a working mom, working full time. I was volunteering. I taught Sunday school. We had stuff on the side that kept life very busy. But I saw that this little bit of time that I was investing on evenings, on coffee break, on getting together with a friend, whenever I possibly could, was really paying off. And so for me, that was gold. And then slowly I started seeing $1,000 a month would be really good, you know? And then we started, you know, growing the vision of who do you know? And it wasn't hard, because I remember lying awake at night and thinking of, this friend could really use this. There's another friend that I know that has, right? And so we know people struggle. And so these people were just coming to my mind, and I knew that I could not remain quiet, because if this was the answer that I had been looking for, and it was helping me and my family so much, not just health-wise, but also bringing in that, I call it relax money, because, you know, when you're like strictly budgeted and every dime has to be counted for, usually the stress factor is pretty high as well. And so this extra little pieces of cash, becoming a gold ambassador, made such a big deal, such a big impact to my family, that it created so much more of a bigger vision. So that was kind of my biggest aha moment of where this was going.
Okay, so before I ask the next story, thank you, Marge. I just feel very honored to have Marge and Jessica and Eva and Annie sharing, because you get this big just inspiration, I feel like. Okay, but can you guys comment in the comments if you're new to Plexus in the last month or two? That way I can tell whose comments are newbies, because I really want my gift to go to a newbie. Annie, can you also share what that first goal was in Plexus and why that was important to reach that goal? Like how that would have changed, how that was going to change your family?
Sure thing. So I'm Annie Weeb, and I think my first goal really was gold and senior gold, right? I knew silver was going to really help with the wiggle money, right? Where I could spend stuff, because I'm a giver. I've always been a giver. My parents would always be like, you have to stop spending all your allowance on gifts for other people because you don't have any money, right? But I loved giving. And so when I got married, obviously I didn't have much money because I spent it on so many gifts for other people. I just love giving somebody just a tiny bit of hope, right? When somebody's going through a hard time, I can't fix what they're going through, but I can let them know that they're cared for, they're thought of, right, with a gift, right? So I'm a giver. So when we got married and we had our first and our second son, there was no wiggle room for giving money, right? There just wasn't. I was looking at having to go back to work, bringing my kids to the babysitter, and then I seen Eva's post about her hitting Emerald. And that just, she hit Emerald, I think, New Year night, the night before New Year's, right? And in January, I seen it. I'm like, you know what? Like, that just sparked something in me that I can do this. That there's opportunities out there that I didn't have to go back to work. I didn't have to go back to teaching. Because with my first son, he was back at the babysitter before he was walking. He was at the babysitter when he had chicken pox. I couldn't take off sick days. So every day I would bring my sick child to the babysitter and to attend to him. She was the one that taught him to talk, right? So when I had my second, I refused to want to do this, right? And so I was looking at having to go back to work. And so when I seen Eva hit Emerald, it just did something in my heart of being able to dream again and think outside the box of what I would have thought I would always do as work, right? Be a teacher. So I thought, okay, yes, $300 a month would be awesome, right? For groceries, yes, I was always looking at organic, but I could not buy anything organic. I would like longingly kind of like look at them guiltily and walk past them because I could not buy them, right? So I knew with those $300 extra a month, it would just help so much. And that is what I did. I started buying organic groceries because I just had such a passion for organic groceries, right? And like Eva said, strawberries, organic strawberries, any kind of berries that are organic are so pricey, and they taste better. So basically it was getting to gold and senior gold so I would have extra spending money and I would be able to stay home with the kids, right? We were getting by, you know, yes, we had lots of debt, but it was, we really needed something, right? So like I said, I was looking back at going back to work, but after I seen this and I wanted to really just, I needed to hit silver because this was just so awesome. So I just shared with so many people, right? I invited people as soon as I joined, right? I didn't have my products, but I invited people on my timeline and family and friends to, you know, do what I had found, right? Like, because this was so great. So going silver just brought hope back to me. You know, when people would say, do you like traveling? What are your hobbies, right? I would no, I don't like traveling, you know, I don't like doing many things. But the real reason was I never let myself dream of traveling. I never let myself dream of, you know, maybe we can one day have a farm. Maybe we can one day live outside the box and not just do what everybody else around me is doing, right? So just hitting silver just woke something up in me that was just like, I can do this. I can do this and other people can do this too, because we're making money off of small devices. Like, it's so simple, yet it's hard work, right? But it's off of a device we can hold in our hands. Like, it cannot get easier than that, right? It cannot get, like, it just can't. It just blows my mind. So, you know, going silver really sparked that in me, that hope of, I can dream. Like, I am allowed to dream.
I love that. Thank you, Annie.
Wait,
I can relate
you
to
want to know
the.
what rank Annie is?
Yes. Annie, what rank are you? You gotta say it.
We are Emerald.
I was just reminded by my friend how I used to measure lettuce in the store because it would be one price per head. So I'd weigh them to see which one was the biggest lettuce. Things like that. I know, and I don't do that no more, but being reminded of that was like, oh yeah, I do remember doing stuff like that. Okay, so now I've picked my winners of this prize. But I would love to kind of spotlight you a little bit if you could just quickly share what this would mean for you. So I've picked a couple names. So the first person that can speak up will actually win this one. So I have Jenny and April or Caitlin Loney. I'm pretty sure is how you say your last name. Whoever speaks up first.
Hi. Hi.
Okay, who's this?
April.
Hey. If you can share what you're looking for, like what is your goal, just really quickly.
It would be amazing to see my husband less stressed about living paycheck to paycheck and give him a little bit of wiggle room to not have to work full time and more than full time.
I love that. That's something that was big for me too. I wanted my husband to not have to stress about buying tires. I wanted him to be like, you know, those simple things, right? Okay, message me and I'll get you we're doing $10 gift cards or else e-transfers. So message me, don't let me forget. Okay, The next thing that we got on the list here for you is so there's steps that you got to take, and there's goals that you kind of make to start with. And Jessica's going to just kind of quickly break down that first goal and how much you're going to kind of look at making this month, because there's different incentives and stuff like that. And what is that first step and all that. So I'll let her tell you. She's a pro at that.
Okay, so to me, silver is one of the funnest achievements, because you realize that, oh my goodness, I got this. And I remember when I started seeing what Plexus was, Eva was writing all these congratulation posts, congratulations on silver. And I said, what's silver? And then it was congratulations on gold. I'm like, what's gold? Because I didn't even care about the business. I was just so excited. And I think I had like a whole bunch of congratulations. And I said, Eva, I'm getting congratulated and I don't know why. Can you tell me what this is? So she broke down what silver is. And silver simply means, guys, that you have shared the power of what we have with 3 people. And so when I am talking to someone, I word it like this because I think sometimes people say, I don't know anyone. And so what I have learned over time to say, hey, you know what, with all that we have talked about Plexus, with the videos that you watched and the testimonies that you've seen, tell me who comes to mind that could benefit with you, because I know that it is a lot easier sometimes grabbing some accountability partners. And I know that you know many people who would love to experience what you're doing. So, and sometimes I'll say to them, if I know them, do you know someone that has ADD or ADHD, someone struggling with anxiety, someone that has food sensitivities, to kind of prompt their mind. And usually they say yes. And so when they do, I'm like, hey, would you pop them in a chat with you and I? Let's do this together, because you can start your journey and grab some girlfriends or some of your family, whoever it is, and they can do this with you. And so it's very simple, because guys, even animals need what we have. So it's not hard to get 3 people to do this with you. And so I think of it this way, guys, you're impacting 3 families that is going to impact potentially generations. When those families get healthy, those children grow up being healthy, they get married and pass on what they've learned, because we don't just share products, we share lifestyle, we share changes. So it's just so powerful what we have. So this month, Plexus has an extra bonus and a reward for what we're already being rewarded for by helping change lives. So if you have 3 people that could benefit, and I want you guys to think big, think specific. If you need help thinking of people, go onto the information page and start reading testimonies, and I promise you, you're going to be writing so fast. In your back office, there is, under the training session, there is a leads list you didn't know you have. It's a prompter. Who do you know is in school? Who do you know? You know, it's all different suggestions. So grabbing 3 friends to do this with you is a $100 bonus on top of the bonuses you get from welcome packs. If you have 6 friends, I'm sure you guys probably have 20, but if you have 6 people that you want to impact their lives, that's an additional $250, not counting the welcome pack bonuses, right? There's $350 for you Canadians. That's probably like $1 million, but $350 American plus your welcome pack bonuses. And so it is an incredible time for you guys to start reaching out and start sharing who could this impact. Grab your upline. If you're stalled, grab your upline and say, hey, can you help me? I need some suggestions. Can you help me write a post? Can you help me? I know this person has a struggle. Can you help me write a message to them? That's what we're here for. Pop them in a chat and let's do it. So Sherry, can you tell me, was it 380 on average a month that a silver makes, or 308?
Something like that.
Something like that. So after your 3rd person, silver is from 3 people to 19. That doesn't mean you have to get 19. That means you and your people, as you share together, when you accumulate 19, you're still silver and your paycheck's going up every month. 20 people, you've hit gold. And you guys saw how simple and how life-changing that can be. That could be grocery payment, a car payment, a house payment, feed for your animals payment, whatever it may be. So that is the power of silver, and it is so simple to do when you realize what we have at our fingertips to help impact lives.
Just 3. Just think of 3s.
3.
We always,
3.
in Plexus, we think of in 3s.
So
Okay,
it's
so
not
I'm
just go silver. It just means 3 people. And us, I'll just end with this. Us jewels that are talking tonight, it is our goal that we go silver every month, because that's 3 and 3, and that's how simple this business is. Don't think big numbers, just think 3.
Yep, just 3. Okay, so I'm just going to share a little bit of what those first steps looked like for me and how it felt for me. So when I came into Plexus, I saw the business opportunity, and I saw that my husband needed the products. If you heard last Zoom, you'll kind of have heard a bit of that story. So obviously we didn't have a story before I started sharing, because I started sharing right away. So how I kind of covered the gap that you might feel of how do I bring this to my friends if I don't have my own story, is I didn't pretend that I had a story. I just told them that I was super excited about what this was going to do for Wes, and I was telling them the stories that I'd heard and that my friend had told me about in her story. And so I didn't even feel like I was selling anything. I just told them where I was at. And they were excited because they were excited for me, and they would want to look at it too with me. I think it's important for you to understand that even as an Emerald ambassador, I share my story just enough to relate to someone, but really what I'm sharing with them is my why. As an Emerald, that's still what I'm sharing with people. I'm sharing with them where I'm going and why I'm wanting to do this. That's what people connect with. So you are going to need to build your belief, though, and that's something that I had to do. And your own story will add to your belief, but it's not what makes your belief. I think that's important to understand the difference. So what started me having belief was when I saw that other people were having results. And so I read a story every day, and I'm going to challenge you to do that. If you need a rhythm, read a story a day. I also shared that story. I either shared it to my Facebook, you just need help to make it compliant or whatever, or I shared it with a friend. If a friend came to my mind, I would send it to them. I'm just like, I just read this story, look at it, that kind of thing, because that was real to the situation of my perspective of how I was feeling about it. And some people started with me right away. Some people started later on, but I just shared the journey as I was going. So that's my first challenge, is read a story a day. That will build your belief. And like Jessica says, that will trigger thoughts of people, because you'll be like, I don't deal with this, but my mom does, or my friend does. And so have a paper beside you and just jot down names. Read a story or listen to a story and just think about, and this will just happen naturally. It does for me. When I listen to something, people will pop in my head. It's like, oh, this person would like this. I do this with everything outside of Plexus as well. So just jot those names down. Listen to a story a day. This will be your inspiration to be able to share with people. Okay, so this is our next question. Our next question for you to write in the chat here is, who's the first person that pops into your head right now? They could either use the products or the business. Just write their first name in the comments. And if you could just write that you're a newbie, that would be really helpful to us. Like if you're new to Plexus in the last month or two, just write that so that we can pick from you. And Eva's going to make this draw while Annie is going to just share a little bit as well of her first steps of how she started sharing. Maybe it was I don't know, do you remember the first person that you messaged or anything like that? Is Annie still here?
Yeah. So the first person I told about this was my sister, right? I went to her place and I told her, and I'm like, we are joining you, right? Like, you need this stuff, right? She just had a baby, and I had been reading, like you said, stories. Just, it wasn't something I was going through, right? But I seen my sister going through it with her newborn, right? So it was these stories, so I knew what these products could do, right? I knew it. And so I went to her and I said, we're joining you right now, right? So we joined her, and just, having somebody to do this with, right? So I knew, okay, I had my sister to do this with me, right? Who else do I know, right? And so then I went to my Facebook, right? I just, said, hey, I'm doing something new. It's about gut health, right? I've just been learning so much, right? if there's anybody that's struggling with X, Y, and Z, you know, link arms with me. Like I can send you testimonials, anything, right? But it was the stories that I think that really got me to silver at first. It was the stories, sharing those stories with others, and being able to, because we can't relate to everybody, right? We all have our own stories. So being able to relate to other people with having read someone else's story is so important. You know, instead of just asking, right, in your team chat or whatever, what helps with this? What helps with this? Have you heard these testimonials, right? Reading these testimonials, gut health and happiness is like a storybook for me, right? I'm never going to run out of testimonials to read because there's so many. And we have so many different places where there's testimonies. So it was just inviting people and letting them know what this was offering, right? It wasn't like just weight loss. You know, so many people think, oh, I don't need weight loss, right? It wasn't just weight loss. It was learning gut health. I didn't know anything about gut health until I seen what it was really doing for me. And my upline was like, yeah, that's, you know, that's detox, that's gut health, right? When I was seeing so many good results, yeah, that's gut health. That's linked to the gut. Did you know? And she would send me articles, or she would tell me where to find articles about gut health. I really encourage you to understand what gut health is. And when you found out that just about everything goes back to your gut, I just got so much more passion for these products because we are literally holding gold in our hands. So I just,
Yes.
my sister was like one of my first ones.
Thank you. I was very similar. I called up a friend of mine that was a nurse. My brother-in-law was visiting us, and so I was just like, because he made whips, and his arms are super sore, and I was like, actually, this might help you too. You should try it. And I really wanted, because like I saw all these stories, and I wanted to see these stories come to life for my friends. So I was kind of like, can you test these out for me? Like, I would like to see them work. That was kind of like my head into the game. And like my nurse friend, I was like, have you heard of this? I was like, could you study it and tell me what you think? Because it was kind of half my trick to get her to actually look at it too. But it also built my confidence too, because when she studied it and she looked at it and a few months later she started, it really built my confidence. So those are a couple people that I first started with. Okay, Sheila, can you quickly share that first couple steps that you took?
For sure, Sherry, I definitely can. So when I started Plexus, I started for my health. Like, I didn't even know what network marketing was. I had this mentality that network marketing was Tupperware ladies with all their bowls and stuff. And I mean, I love my Tupperware, but that's not what I wanted. And so I didn't know what silver could be. I didn't know what this could look like. But what I did know was that it was making me feel better. And I was pregnant with my first at the time, and I was working with 4 other pregnant ladies, and my neighbor was pregnant. So it was just like all these pregnant ladies around me, and I just had to tell them all about it. So my first joins were actually like one of my coworkers, my neighbor lady, because they all came along because they saw what it was doing for me at that time. And I had shared with them what it could do for them. And like these other ladies have been saying, it's the stories that get people, because it gives them hope to see that this could be me too. If it has worked for them, why could it not work for me? It's really that simple. They say, I mean, I'm a facts person. I love the details. I love the knowledge. I love all that. But facts don't get to a person's heart. It's the stories that really catch them.
Yeah, that's how Eva caught Jessica. Jessica's all facts and all, but Eva got her from the stories. I know that story. Okay, Eva, do you have a name picked out for us, or should we give you a little bit more time?
I do, yes. There was a lot of them, but I just like went through and picked somebody. She mentioned an Abe she wants to share. She thought about Abe, so I don't know if this is her husband, but I picked Greta Friesen. So she is our winner for whatever gift it is that you are giving out.
Okay, can you message me after we're done this? Just message me on Facebook, or else I probably won't be able to find you. Okay, now we're gonna move into how we do this when it comes to, you know, someone's like, so what is Plexus? And you're kind of like, I'm not really sure. It's just really good and there's really good stories. You really don't want to have to feel like you need to tell all the information. We have systems, and I'm gonna ask Charla if you can share what you have to share about that.
Okay, I love this so much, you guys, because we're just going to piggyback a little bit off of what they were just sharing about how important our stories are. Our stories are so incredible. A lot of people come into Plexus thinking they need to figure out if it works for them in order before they can share it with their friends. And guys, we're here to tell you that thousands and hundreds of thousands of people have proven the Plexus works. We have an incredible panel of extremely smart people who are designing our products and putting things together, and some of the most intelligently designed stuff that you will find in the world right now. Plexus is something special. There's people everywhere that wish they could get their hands on what Plexus has because it works so well and it's so special. So if you came in and you're at all skeptical, you feel like you need to figure out your own results before you can share, what Sherry said is so brilliant. Invite people to join with you and try it, and just read stories every day. And I'm just going to share a quick little system that we actually corporate put together for us. So this is all of Plexus. All the resources and tools that you need are in your back office. This is so cool, you guys, because this makes it easy for people to share right out of the starting gate. If this is something that you need for your family financially, if this is something that you have been praying and waiting for an opportunity, and you don't want to sit around and wait for your own results and figure out all this stuff on your own, you don't have to, because we have tools and systems set up for you. So piggybacking on the stories, writing names down as you read those stories. So definitely read the stories every day. It's going to build your belief. It's going to help you see that this is helping so many people with way different issues than what you're dealing with. So have a piece of paper on your counter and a pen handy while you're listening to videos, reading stories, and just jot those names down as fast as you think of them. And then, so we have a really cool system to use with those names. And we have some super cool tools in the back office. So basically, in a really short nutshell, it's ask, send, share, invite. Okay? So what you're going to do is, once you get that list of people, you're going to start going through those names, and you are going to ask them if you could send them a 3-minute video. So ask leads into send. You guys, this is so simple. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. It's really easy. Ask if you can send them a 3-minute video that shares some really cool stuff that you are just starting to learn about, okay? And they're going to either say yes or no, and you're going to send them the video for the people that say yes. And then after they see the video, it's like super simple. Send the video, share a story, invite them to an event. We have online events going all the time. You can invite them to a Facebook group, the one that we mentioned, the Gut Health and Happiness, where you have the stories. They get to read the stories. You can tag them as stories. And then you're just going to keep following up with them and seeing how they're doing, seeing what they liked about it, seeing how they could relate with it, asking them questions if they need any more info. We have so many tools, you guys. So this send, share, invite system is in your back office in the resource libraries, and you can go there and see all the tools that corporate has put together for us. The 2 tools that I want to highlight here, if you're feeling at all like, okay, I don't even know what to say, I don't even know how to keep track of all this, we got you covered there too, okay? So we have this super cool book in the back office that you can actually purchase. It's called the Healthy Business Workbook, and this is designed for you to keep track of that list of names that you wrote down. And it's, how much does this cost? Is this like $5, $10 at the most? I can't even remember.
Oh, it's less than that. I think it's $3, but it's also, you can just print it off too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very much.
Yeah. So you can even get it for free if you want to just print it off. You don't have to wait for the book to get in the mail. So it's really cheap. And you can save all of your names in here, and it has spots for you to write down all the different steps that you've done with each person. And so you can keep track of what you've done with each person. It's very cool. And then if you're one of those people that has a hard time crafting messages, you are not alone. A lot of people struggle with that. It can be tricky sometimes to figure out what to say. But if we go into it remembering that we are there to love people, to serve people, to give them an opportunity to look at something that could change their life, we are giving people options. We're not trying to force anybody to do anything or make any decisions here. We are presenting options for people, something that could get them out of a stuck zone, okay? So, and this is another really fun, super cheap little book you can buy in the back office called the Scripts Workbook, and it is full of messages for all different categories that you can start with, and then you can edit them to make them more personal to that person. It's full of a whole bunch of great ideas. Super fun stuff. So the send, share, invite system is really, really simple. It helps you categorize the people that you're working with. It helps you sort the people that you know into which step you're at with them and what you can do best for them. It also helps you not have people fall through the cracks as you start messaging people. And we just have so many amazing tools and resources, but almost every single one fits into one of those categories. So that's what's so cool about knowing this ahead of time. You can kind of just get a brief overview. That's what I wanted to do for you today, just a little snapshot of what the system does and what it's used for. And then all the other tools that we have fit into these categories. So you're plugging them in. So like the gut health and happiness group would fit into the invite step because you're going to invite them to check out this Facebook group. And all the resources that we have are fit into the same, fit into one of those 4 categories. So it'll just help you be able to see the information that's there, all the tools that are there, and simplify it in your head. There's a lot of info, guys, a lot of amazing stories, a lot of amazing training videos, a lot of amazing stuff. And it's easy to get overwhelmed if you don't have files for it in your head. So that's what this system is so great for. Sets up files in your head and gets you a great place to start. And we love the tools because the tools give us the power to be able to share without having to know really anything, because the tool is going to do it for you. And it's like sending a video, sending an invite to the group, sending a story. You don't have to send long voice messages telling them all the sciencey stuff that it took you 4 years to learn and to get good results with. That's what the beauty of this is. We have a whole stack of videos that Jessica Hugendorn very graciously made for us. And I use those like every day, you guys, because she's so smart and she knows what she's doing. And I don't have to say anything. And then it comes from the smart health professional who's just on top of the world. Anyways, so I just wanted to give you a little glimpse and a picture of how simple and easy this can be. And not to help you guys not feel afraid or insufficient or incapable, because this isn't about us and our capabilities. This is about an incredible gift we have to share with the world that is changing lives every single day. And why not spread the news about that? So your upline who invited you has lots more info about that system and how to use it and how to plug into it. We have challenges coming up that will specifically train you on how to use the system super efficiently. So be sure and plug into those things if this is something you really want to run with.
Thank you, Charlotte. That is perfect. So now you know we have a system. Now you know it doesn't have to be complicated. Now we're going to ask Sheila, can you just quickly show us that screen again of where to find these tools just real quickly?
Definitely, Sherry. I would love to. So, okay. Just have some tech stuff going on. Okay, you guys can all see my screen?
Yeah,
Yay.
we're good.
Perfect. Okay, so on Tuesday, I shared my screen and I showed you guys a little bit about where we want you to start as new ambassadors. I'm just going to quickly tell you that if we're listening to what Charla said, the training center has the resource library in it. So if you're wanting to go find the send, share, and invite, that's where you're going to find it. But what I'm going to show you now is part of this new ambassador. Please click here. And what I want you guys to do is when we're off of the Zoom, I want you to go log into your own virtual office and find this for yourself, because the best teacher is for you to go play with it. That's the best way to learn something, is to just get hands-on. So I want you to go into this new Ambassador Quick Start Guide, and I want you to go to day 3, because day 3 has all the steps that we've been talking about today. First, here is a awesome PDF that has all of the corporate trainings on it that are coming up, and things that you're going to want to plug yourself into to learn as much as you can. The beauty of network marketing is that this is like a never-ending learning experience. And it's so great. You're always learning something new. Now here we have the leads you didn't know you had list. This is what Jessica was talking about earlier. Go print this off. It's going to be a brain jogger for you to help you think of all those people that you wouldn't have thought about before. It really helps you bring up names that you didn't think about. We have a video on how to reach out to your closest friends and family, because I know that sometimes that can be a little bit scary. Sometimes it can be a little bit unsure. This is really going to help you with that. And here you have the scripts workbook that Charlotte was talking about. This is one of those books where you can print it right here, this PDF version. It's going to give you verbiage and message ideas to send to these people that are on your list. When you're reading those stories and you're writing down those names, this is where you're going to find the verbiage and the message ideas of what you want to send to them, so that it can sound genuine and authentically you. There's also info here on what it means to fast start. Fast start means ranking up quicker than expected, which is really
more money.
Sorry?
And more money.
And more money, yes, more money. So check that out, because it's really cool. And I know we had a lot of people in Plexus who did this last month. A lot of people went Fast Start Silver, and I know some even went Fast Start Gold, which is just so cool. And then lastly, there is one on sharing Plexus on social media. And I really love this one. It's a PDF. You just go print it off, read it out, check it out. It's just going to give you ideas of how to post, make your first post, how to come out to your network telling them what you're doing and what you've started, and still being super genuine and authentically you. I think here's another one. If we're going down into resources, this is the Healthy Business Workbook. I think this is the one that Charlotte was talking about. This is a PDF version. You can print it off right here. And there's also some more items here that you can check out, being empowered and how to rank up to silver. So like I said, when we're done here, go log into your own virtual office, hit that. If you're a new ambassador, click here and go check it out for yourself, because there's so much that they're just giving right to you for you to start. You don't need to do anything other than reaching out to people.
Thank you, Sheila. I feel like that just okay, now we know where these tools are. Okay, so we're gonna have one last draw going on here. Eva's gonna speak next, but while she's talking, I want you to write in the comments a step that she says. So Eva's gonna recap the steps that you need to take, and I want you to write in the comments just a brief, maybe it's a read a story a day or whatever she says. I want you to write something that stands out to you that you're gonna do. So write that in your comments. I'll make the draw after Eva's done talking. And Eva, can you share, just kind of recap all this information and lay out in real clear steps what to do?
Okay, 60 seconds. I'm going to tell you how to start your Plexus business and make money. First thing I want you to do is read stories every single day. There are so many stories. This is going to build your belief. When you feel down, when you feel like you can't do it or you can't find the next person, the stories are going to encourage you and they're going to help you and build your belief. When you don't have your own belief, you borrow our belief. That's what we did. We borrowed someone else's belief, because this is the people who have gone before you have the belief. Then I want you to write down the names Number 2, I want you to write down the names of people you think of as you're reading these stories. When someone comes to mind, if someone comes to mind while you're driving your car, stop by the side of the road and write down their name. That person's name came to your mind for a reason. Okay, next I want you to just start sharing what you are doing. That just means invite them along with you on your journey. Tell your friends, I'm starting this thing. I don't know what it's going to do. I'm really hopeful. Will you go with me? Number 4, stay connected with your sponsor. They are there to help you. They want to help you. If you don't know what to say next, you don't know what to do next, you don't know where to go, they want to help you succeed. And then number 5, the sharing system. Learn the sharing system. It is so simple. Watch a video on it, do the steps, and you're ready to start going. That's how you start. That's how all of us started. So you guys are good to go. You ladies did such a good job sharing.
How is that you say this? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's what it is. And it's proven that this works because this is how we did it and this is how we still do it. So you can be very confident in that. I haven't got the name drawn because there's so many comments in it and it's very hard to know who's a newbie here. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So Jessica, we're getting close to the end of the Zoom here. Jessica's just going to close us out with some vision and just her last words for you. And then I have a little bit of housekeeping at the end and then we'll let you go. It's been a little bit of a longer Zoom than I was hoping for, but I feel like it was well worth the time and that you're going to be thankful to have this laid out for you. So Jessica, please.
Okay, so you guys got a lot of tools and sometimes it's like hearing a really good talk and then it goes and evaporates and we don't want that to happen. So if you want your team to grow, you're going to have to share. If you're not sharing, it's like advertising in a way. Let's picture this. You are kissing in the dark. The only people that know you're kissing is you and the person you're kissing. No one else knows. So that is how trying to build a team without sharing makes that much sense. So what you want to do is you want to find a way to share that is not salesy. So if you've been sharing already, I want you guys to take a minute and scroll through your wall and see if you look like a TV ad or if it looks like something that is just sharing what you're passionate about and part of your life. Because nobody likes to be sold to, but everybody is desperately looking for what we have. You just have to find a way to speak their language. So it's very simple. Find a way to start sharing what it's done for you. And if you have not had a story yet, share what you're excited to experience. I am so excited to have my anxiety disappear like so many of my friends that I've watched. I'm so excited to heal my gut and have my food allergies disappear. You have to say it in a more compliant way and your upline can help you. But start sharing what you're excited for if you do not have a story for yourself. But share, guys. Have it a part of your life. Invite people, like Charlotte was saying, to come along on this journey for you. And the next couple months, we are here to cheer you on, to see you reach the goals that you have, whatever it is that your story is and why you're doing this. That's what we're here for. Think of this Zoom as your cheer squad because you know the hashtag of Plexus, One Plexus. We are all one team there to help each other. So guys, take what it is, and I'll end with this. You've heard information tonight. If this is all new to you, sleep on it tonight. Get up in the morning. Look over that link that Sheila shared with the new ambassador. Read over it. And as you're reading over it, if you have any questions, write them down. Then go to your sponsor and say, hey, this is what I got. This is what I'm hearing. Am I missing anything? How can I get started? And so I encourage you guys, your dreams can come true with this because we have what people are looking for, health and finances.
Thank you. That's so true. Okay, I have 3 names. I have Martha Woods. Thank you so much for writing in caps new. That was super helpful for me. Stephanie Savard, I think is how you say your name, and Shelly Moore. The first one to speak up.
Clip.
I'm here. Hi. Did you hear me?
Hey, Martha Wood. Do you have a goal? Can you share what your goal is, your first goal?
I want to learn more so that I'm more confident. a lot of life changes. I want to learn more about the gut health. I mean, everything y'all have said is wonderful, but I'm not at the part where I can dream because everything I've been through, dreams kind of died.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I've seen it so many times. And even though I was young, I was even already at that point where I didn't even think to dream.
Your mother, I think. Just look at it.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing is even when we're this young, we are kind of boxed in to stop dreaming. You got to stop dreaming so you can live life. So I know what you're talking about just enough to know that it's very real, that it's hard to actually start dreaming. So I can only imagine what it's like for you, but I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for.
You're welcome.
Sherry, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Message me when you're done this, when we're done the Zoom so that I can get you your giveaway. Okay, so we're just gonna close this up. Next week, we're gonna do like we're gonna call it like a power hour. I don't know what the name will be. You'll see a post come out where it's gonna be for you so that you can hop on the Zoom and we're gonna just work with you to help you actually reach out and invite people so that you can ask questions and you can hear ideas and stuff like that. And we'll just be kind of re-going over that send, share, invite system and doing it with you. And then we're going to also have an event for you to invite people to next week. So that's what we got planned for you next week. I don't have the dates exact and the times exact, so you'll see posts. But between there and now, start writing names down, start working at it, start listening to videos, start talking to people, and just start getting immersed. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for what this is going to mean for your family and for you and for the people around you. It is incredibly exciting, maybe a little bit scary, but I can't remember the name of the lady, but she says fear and excitement are actually the same thing. So if you're feeling one of those, it's the same, so don't worry about it. And we're excited to be here to help you. And the people that have invited you to Plexus in your upline and your uplines, they're all excited to help you. So reach out to them and thank you. Have a good night. Eva, can you close out?